Okay, guys, welcome back to today's session in our 1 week free class on web development, on Frontend development. So today will be a continuation from where we stopped. Though I said this is actually a 1 week class, but I think we'll have to skip day 6 and move to day 7. That is actually because of something. So React.js is one. Okay, now let me just show us what we are supposed to take for today if we are going to have it like this. So you can see that this is these are day 6. So day 6 is actually an introduction to React.js. So I'll try to just give us a very brief intro to React.js, but unfortunately we won't be writing any code on React.js. So we'll be skipping this setup with Vite, we'll skip this component, and we'll skip this practical as well. But I'll just take us through the why React and React versus pure JavaScript. Then I'll go to the day 7's work, so we can actually end up the class today. So first of all, what is React.js? React.js is a JavaScript library. So what are libraries? So sometimes you want to accomplish a task and you need something to make your task completed very fast, and also to make your task efficient and accurate. So if you probably think that you want to code a website, like a full website using just HTML, JavaScript and CSS, then you can do it, but not in this period anymore, because there are tools and software and technology that have made everything easier for us. Imagine you want to code a website that has like an e-commerce site just like Jumia, and you want to start coding all the things you have on that page. Do you know how stressful that can actually be? So that will actually be very, very stressful that you might not even be able to imagine. So by the time you get to some places and you have to start manipulating, changing, copy paste, so it will even take a lot of your time. But sometimes you see this kind of tools that actually ease our work and make our work even more neater. So also, if you want to start coding from scratch, a whole big site like Jumia, for example, you have a lot of files, number one. Number two is that you are going to have many codes, like a lot of codes inside each of those files, and that would actually reduce the speed of your website. It's also increase the rate at which your site lags and hangs. So that's actually another big problem, and that is one of the things that was, apart from that, a lot of things as well are problems that were seen and experienced by developers that made them go into developing softwares like frameworks and libraries. So React.js is a JavaScript library that was built mainly for SPA, single page applications, such that all your website is going to be in one single page, and if you go from one page to another, it will be like you're trying to maneuver from one component to another. So all these things are still like the terms we use in React.js. So React was pure JavaScript. Now, if you have a website where you probably need to use something multiple times, for example, if you go to Jumia, I would have loved to show us an example, but I won't be able to do that. For example, I won't be able to do that example for us. So you go to Jumia and you see the website, the way they showcase their products, you will see that it is still the same format that everything is being listed. So you see that box where you have the image, it is the same thing for every other product as well. Then you actually see a text that says probably the product name, a text under it that says a former price and that will be cancelled, and the price beside it. You will see probably the rating. You see, so all those things. If you look at that particular product and see those things in it, look for other products beside it, you see that it's actually the same thing again. So instead of us to start repeating, so it means that you probably have to write the whole code for that particular product, then copy and paste or duplicate that particular code for a new product. Then if you have like 1,000 products on that single page, you have to do that 1,000 times. Wow, that is too stressful and even buggy for our code, and it will even make our website slow down because the size is going to be too big for the whole site to actually handle. But when you come to React.js, it's going to make our code very, very small and light, such that you just have to be sharing between components and the likes. So I won't be going much into React.js, as I said. If you look at websites like Facebook, for example, even initially React.js was built by a developer in Facebook. Yes, he worked at Facebook, and he used to work at Facebook. I don't know if he currently worked at Facebook now, but he was a developer at Facebook when he created this library to React.js, and since then Facebook has been migrated from what it used to be to React.js, and it's currently run on React.js. So if you go to Facebook application, you would see that probably if you're on a page and you want to go to the next page, the page won't have to reload. Like the first method of reloading a page, if you want to go from a website to another website, or even from a web page to another web page inside the same website, you have to refresh, like the page has to refresh. So that is not how it is in SPAs, single page applications. So it is such that it is going to seem as if you are just trying to move between, like you're on a single page, just trying to move between probably the top of the page to the bottom to the middle. It will actually seem like that. So that's what to make use of React.js. Another thing as well So you can always make research on that by yourself. So if you want to start coding React.js, it is not similar to how you code your normal HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So now you need to set up your terminal. I'll just take us something brief, so I don't want us to go too deep into that. So you come to this terminal option over here. Come to the terminal option. So this terminal option. Then you click on it, and you can see you click on new terminal. So this is going to open up this terminal option. So now if you want to start coding React, you need to install Node.js. So go to your browser and search install Node.js, and you install it and finish the setup. Then you come back to your VS Code and do this terminal stuff. So when you come to the terminal, you need to run some codes to install to create a new React.js project. So it is different from the way you just come over to this VS Code and click here to create a new folder, a new project, or do that on your home screen. So this is not how React actually works. So React has a syntax you have to follow. I'll just try to show us something. Let me see if I can show us one of our React code. I was using to teach students, so I can still see it. Okay, now I think this is one of them, React codes over here. So if you want to start coding React, you need to import the structure from their own server. So that's how it actually works. You need to import the whole structure, the whole project structure that has been configured for use. So you need to import that from the server. So let me just see my app. Trying to see something I can actually use to show us the example. So look at this one now, my first React app, for example. So let me open this with my VS Code, so you can actually see what it looks like to have a React project. So open with code. So if you want to start coding on React.js, you need to import. First of all, you need to install the Node.js. Remember, that's the first step. Second step is that you need to create a new project. It should be open now, I guess. So you need to create a new project for that particular thing you want to work on. So you can see this is what it looks like. Let me zoom in so you can see it clearly. So look at the file structure. It's different from what we have, just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these are different things. Look at, you see .json, .md, blah blah blah. So this one .md is for Git. Yes, it's for Git. So just for the README file. So this is the main project here. You can see my first React app. So you see the node modules. These are things you must not touch. So let me close this. Look at the src where the whole stuff, all the whole files are stored. So we have the app.jsx. This one now has an extension called JSX, JavaScript XML, JavaScript extension also. So you can see the way the codes look like. So you can see that we have import React, we have import button from this, we have constant app. So you see that this actually still JavaScript. Yes, let me mention, React is still JavaScript. In fact, if you learn JavaScript to an extent, you see that, oh wow, these are still the same things, because if you look at this now, this is how to create a function. This is actually basically a function. They are called what is it called? Forgotten. By using this method to create a function. So we have this here arrow functions. Yes. So these are actually arrow functions. I think I mentioned this earlier during our class on functions. I said we have two forms, using the function keyword and using arrow functions. But I actually only showed us the using the function keyword. So now you can see this as well. This is actually normal HTML. You can see that this is actually normal HTML. Yeah. So that's like combining HTML and JavaScript together into the same page, without making use of that script element or just any random element. So you can see we have a button.jsx. So now every page in a React.js project or React.js website is stored as a component. So you can see this is actually a component, this is a component, another component. So you can have multiple components in our website. It's very much possible. So if you want to go from one page to another, you need to go from one component to another component. And just imagine this is just a single page, and it works very fine. So I don't want us to go more into this because I don't want to bore us. React.js is not something you can just jump into. You need to have solid foundation in JavaScript itself before you move into React.js. And merely teaching us JavaScript for just 2 days won't teach us the foundations of JavaScript that we need to know before we go to React.js. So I'm just trying to onboard us and see what it looks like to actually be a developer in front-end development, especially when it comes to all these technologies we're actually teaching ourselves. So now, as I said in that previous one, that if you want to if you want to start coding React, just come over to this place and you need to import the project from the React.js server itself. So make use of some code like npm. Oh, sorry, it should be in this place. Something like npm install npm create with at latest. So you need to have your internet connection, and I don't have that currently. So that's actually another limitation. So after doing the whole code, everything, it's going to create the project itself and import it into that particular folder we are currently working on. You can see that this is how everything just did, everything did installed. Then if you want to run this project now, so you need to come over to your terminal again. So this is the where the terminal. So you can click on this place. Sorry, I think it's here. So click on this place and go to the terminal option and click on new terminal. Then if you open the terminal, you just need to open npm run dev. You type npm run dev in the terminal. So terminal is a place where we run codes basically. So it's not only limited to probably front-end development or even VS Code. Our Windows have terminal that comes with them. In fact, all operating systems have their own terminal that comes with them. So even for MacBook, they also have their own terminal. So just go to terminal and type the code npm run dev. So that's the code you're going to type into the terminal and click on enter. So it's going to open your project in the browser. So we are going to get a link to click on. So that's just how to view your React.js project in your browser. So I think this is actually getting interesting to you and you are feeling eager to learn React. Don't worry, you don't have to rush. Just wait till the end of this program. So I'll be sharing a very important update with every one of us. So you can see we get the link ready. This is also the localhost. So you get the option to just control plus click. So hold the control and click on this link. Or you can just copy it. Yes, you can actually also copy it as well. Control C and go to your go to your browser. Go to your browser and paste the link. So let me just paste this localhost and click on enter. So it's actually going to open it up for us. So you see what we actually coded inside that part. So this is actually something very small. Just like I was using to teach students on this. So that's why I actually have this small stuff created. So if you go to this page now, let's see what has opened. So I think it's actually is empty. We have only a button inside. So a button that says coming. Oh, so okay, yeah. I think it's actually just a button. So a button that says button. So that's basically what it actually does. So if you come back to this page now, I think it should open. So probably it's still loading also. So now that's just actually how React.js actually works. And yes, a lot of things. So if you think that you want to be a front-end developer and you don't want to learn a framework or a library, there's no problem and there's a big problem. There's no problem because you will probably be stressing yourself out and you would have to start repeating codes multiple times. And the bad part of it is that in the labor market today, if you probably want to start a job or you want to apply for an internship or so, they won't consider anyone that does not have any knowledge on frameworks and libraries. So basically you need to learn one of those frameworks. So there are a lot of options to choose from, and I think the one I will advise you to choose from is React.js. So React.js also has its own frameworks, like a sub to it. So its own framework is it has Next.js. So Next.js actually is also very, very good, and it provides solution to one of the problems we faced in React.js. So that actually combined together is one thing you should actually try to work towards. So the other things you can also learn like TypeScript, Vue.js, AngularJS. So those things too, you can also learn them. But you can just choose between React, Angular, and Vue. But I prefer you choose React.js because it is kind of like the best one out there. They all have their usage and limitations, pros and cons, but I will advise you take React.js. So if you look at most of the job opportunities we see today, you mostly see React.js in the options. So you will hardly see anyone that will tell you, I want to hire a developer that knows only JavaScript, CSS and HTML. But you will see a lot of them that says, okay, you need to have the requirement for the job, you need to have knowledge on React.js, at least 2 years or so. So you need to learn a framework. That is what the labor market is telling us today. Learn a framework, very, very important. So that's just about React.js. Let me see what else we can just touch again from this. Let's see. So as I said, it's not something you can just jump into. So even if I jump into it, you might have problems understanding it later. Yeah, so let me just leave this as we've explained a little bit of React.js to ourselves. So now going to the next slide, which we have this coming. So we have this wrap up and the final project. So now I will just be taking us through a review of what the project as the first thing we'll be doing for now. So now in this thing we've everything we've learned. Let me close my terminal and let me increase this. Let me increase this width because I think we are done. We don't need to make use of the browser anymore. So now let me just take us through this. You can see our file structure. We have our HTML, our JavaScript, and our images as well. So in the HTML now, let me start with this first one we started with and close this. So we have the doc type HTML, which is like the document object, the document declaration type to tell us that okay, everything coming below me is what is HTML. So treat them as HTML, you get, not as ordinary text. So then we have the title of the page, which is inside the head section. This head section is where we have the title of the page. Then we have the body section as well. So in the body section we have our tags and elements. So these are elements. H1 is an element, but this is the opening tag. where we have our attributes. So we have the style attributes. This is actually about having colors. So this is what we call inline styling, whereby we make use of the style attribute to give styling. So then we have style equal to, then we have a color and a value, then we have the text inside the heading. And I said that we have headings 1 to 6. So heading 1 is the biggest one, which is h1. Heading 6 is the smallest one, which is h6 as well. Then we have paragraphs used to create normal text. Yes, like just normal text. Then we have the anchor element that has attributes href that takes us to the link we want to navigate to. So you can see we have the link inside the href attributes. Then we have a text to be displayed as well. Then we have our h3 to have this topic. So we have this ol, ordered list, and we have the li as a list item. So every list must have a list item, either ordered list or unordered list, as we have it over here. Then we have this image as well. The image is an element that's actually used to import images. So we also have video and audio as well. So the src is telling us about the location of the image, which I showed us. This is actually an image from Google, yes, or an image from the internet. Then that's an alternate text in case the image does not load. So we have this text beside the broken image icon, and we also have this inline styling as well, yeah, to change the width and the height basically. Then we have the table also. So the table is like the element that is used to create tables, to order our data in a tabular form. So we have the table as a parent element, and we have the tr as a child element that is also a parent to this th or tr as or td as the case may be. So the th is for the table heading, and the td is for normal table data. So this is going to be in bold, and this is actually going to be in normal text. So this tr is for every row. So everything we have in a td is going to be in a single row, and for the next tr again, all the td inside is going to be on the next row. So that's how everything looks like. Then we have the closing of the tr and the closing of the table as well. Then we have the form element. So the form element actually is the parent element for all those input elements that we use to receive data from a user. So we have the input types. So input type equal to text for normal text, type equal to password to receive password, and immediately you type something into that box, you have the text shown, or it's going to be shown as a dot, asterisk, or something else. So it's not going to reveal what is inside that particular input box. Then we have other ones as well, number, email, and likes. Then we have the select. So select is like when you have a drop down of something and you want someone to click on the drop down and select one of those options. So make use of the select. Then we have the text area as well, which is like a very big box, so you can actually type a lot of things inside. So it has some attributes like colons and rows. So this is going to declare the number of spaces or the number of gaps you should have for the column, and this for the rows as well. Then you can also take an ID value. Then we have a button that says submit. So this is actually a button. We know what buttons are already. Then we have a div. This is actually a box container. Yeah, and we have line breaks as well. An element that is used to probably push the next element to the next line. So that's what it is used for. Then we have this form of anchor element, whereby with the link we have is not a link like www or something. It's a link to a particular resource inside our own server, meaning that we have this particular page inside our folder over here. This is the page over here, so that's what it's used for. Then we have the body and the head and the HTML section will close. So let's go to the next element. Let's go to the next page, which is box models.html. So I also explain some things there, which are the box models. So this is the internal styling, where we have the styling inside the style element inside our head section. So this is the internal styling. Then remember from CSS we have the selector, which can be a tag name, it can be an ID value, hashtag the ID value, it can also be a class name, dot the class name, and any other things as well. Then we have this structure. This is the curly brace, and this is actually the style you want to give to it. So you want to change the color to color red. So this is how everything actually works. So if you have multiple stylings or multiple things to give to a particular element, you separate them using this semicolon. So if you have just one, you can choose to remove the semicolon, there won't be any problem. But if you have multiple, so if you try to remove this semicolon, for example, you'll be having this kind of errors that says that yeah, semicolon expected, you see. So that's actually for that. Let me put the semicolon back. That's how we actually do that. So if you want to comment out a code, just come to the code in the front. So with the CSS, you put a slash, a asterisk, come to the end, an asterisk and a slash. So it only comment this out. You can just choose to comment out everything by doing this Ctrl V. You get, so that actually also does the work. But if you are in HTML and you want to comment out anything, just come to this place and you are going to write your greater than, then you have an exclamation mark and a 2 dots or a 2 hyphen. or are they called dash? Then you come to the end and put two hyphen and a greater than symbol. Oh, this is CSS, sorry, this is not HTML. Okay, so let me just cut this and put it here instead. Control V, and let me just let me cut this as well. Control X, and so you can see that it has changed everything to color green because everything is now commented. So you can now paste this as well. So it's going to affect only this line, but you probably come to this place and remove this and put this in this place. So it's going to affect everything enclosed inside the comment section. So that's just for that as well. That's for comments. Then we have other ones also. So everything actually works as expected, and we've learned this already. So this is the ID I was talking about, the ID equal to box, and this is the class name as well for the parents, which is like a way of targeting elements specifically. So ID is identical to just one particular element, while the class name can have multiple elements bearing the same class name. So just as we have multiple elements having the same tag name, we can have multiple elements having the same class name. But when it comes to ID name, so only one element should have an ID name. So that's actually cleared already. Then for JavaScript as well, I told us already, we have variables declared using the let keyword, the const keyword, and the var keyword. So we have the let heading equal to this. So this is just the quick selector I taught us yesterday. So we also have how to create variables and how to change the values of variables to something else by doing this. So we also showed us how to create functions. We start with the function keyword, and we also have a function name as well. We have our bracket and a curly brace where we put all our code inside. And I also showed us how to use conditional statements also. So we have the if statement. So if this is true, then this should happen. If this is true, then this should happen. Then if all is false, then we have an else statement that says this should happen. So I also showed us a lot of things yesterday. So just try to carry on with everything. So we'll be stopping here for the whole program. Let me see, after we've taken the review of all the things we've learned, what else again? So now for the certificate of completion, so this will actually be discussed in the group. Then for the career prospect in front-end development, yeah, as a front-end developer, if you learn front-end development, there are many things you can actually do. You can work as a web developer. That is one of the things that is like the most common. Apart from that, so you have several other options too. But basically, it is for you to become a front-end developer, to start building websites, web applications, and other things as well. So even after learning front-end, you can still go to back-end to start learning some things as well. So you can become a full-stack developer. So these are things that you can actually become. And the salary for web developers is not something small. It's something that is actually enticing. So try to pursue your career in front-end development. So now the next step after doing this is that you need to enroll for a course. So using just 6 days to explain this thing is just to onboard us and to make us see what it looks like to actually code and what it seems like to be a developer. This is not enough for us to say, yeah, I'm now a developer, I can start building a website. No, that's not actually how it works. So in that, you need to enroll in an academy where you can actually learn all these things in the best manner. So now I'll be recommending us to learn from our academy that I can guarantee you that after the period of learning with us, you are actually going to be certified. You get the certificate of completion. You also have the necessary skills to start building websites for yourself and even for clients. You can even apply for internship as well, apply for jobs, and you would be rest assured that you can actually handle the job very well. So the things we learn from us, I would have loved to just show us the course outline, but I'll be sending that to the group so you can see the things that you learn if you join us. So be any HTML itself has about 30 topics under it that you'll actually be learning. So if you take one topic on a daily basis, also if you take one video on a daily basis, you'll be able to learn, like after 30 days you should have been done with HTML. Then CSS too, I think about 30 or so. JavaScript also. JavaScript is actually very, very much because a lot of things are in JavaScript. We also have other things we not even undo in this class that are actually going to be taught in the program. Like if you enroll for our academy, you'll be learning Git and GitHub, one of the very important tools that we make use of as developers, not only in front-end but also in all fields on technology and programming. So if you want to put your code online and see and make people access your code, make people see your code, make people work on your code as well, so make use of Git and GitHub. And many other things also. You learn how to put your website online, how to use Vercel, how to use GitHub pages, and many other things as well. How to use cPanel, yes, you learn this one as well, and many other things that we won't even mention to you. So you also be learning JavaScript frameworks and libraries. So we'll be teaching you React.js from scratch to advanced. We'll be teaching you TypeScript as well. We'll be teaching you Next.js and Bootstrap, CSS, Tailwind, and many other things. So we'll also be dropping the link for you. So when you see the link and look at the whole course details, so you'll be able to see that, wow, this is actually what enrolling for. So that will be everything for this our program. Thank you very much for joining us. So let me see, this is the last page. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be expecting to see you at our academy to enroll for one of our courses. So our front-end course is actually always available for you to enroll and start learning front-end development from scratch. So there are also a lot of students that actually like you started without even doing anything in front-end development, but now they are actually doing good in their field in front-end development. So thank you very much for joining us for this 1 week program, and we expect to see you at our academy. So thank you very much, and do have a nice day ahead.